Welcome to the Gym Breakthrough Podcast. This show is about one thing and one thing only, turning your gym into a thriving business you love to own. So if you want to know what it really takes to grow your membership, make more money, and build a rock-solid community of raving fans, you've come to the right place. All this information is 100% free, so please subscribe to and review our podcast. Enjoy the show. Hey guys, welcome to the Gym Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Gurzy, and today I want to talk to you about why not being clear about who you are as a business is keeping you from growing your business. Now, the challenge here, guys, is that, so many gym owners are just copying what the other people in their marketplace are doing, the competitor down the street, or maybe it's a buddy of theirs in another market who is, running a similar model. And hey, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Or I heard this on this podcast, that sounded really great, better than what I've got. And there we go, right? And we kind of cobble together what we're doing from a system standpoint around content marketing, around maybe advertising, around our sales system, our onboarding, our prices, all that stuff, right? And although that is fine for getting started, I mean, we all start there. You got to create version one, get something to market, and get rocking and rolling, right? But the challenge here, guys, is that as we continue to grow, and obviously if you can do this right from the get-go, you're going to be that much better off right from the start. But, when you do what everybody else does, you look like what everyone else is doing. And when you look and sound like everybody else, you are not really going to resonate with anyone. You are not going to stand out. And the whole key to this game, guys, is standing out and having a unique voice around who you are and who you serve and the problem that you solve. And, when everything that you're doing sounds just like everyone else in your marketplace and looks just like what everyone else in the marketplace is doing, and your offer is like that, your content just blends in. Your offers just blend in. Your differentiators just blend right in, and you end up not standing out at all. And the real challenge with that, guys, is that when you look just like what everyone else is doing, particularly when you're still in the business of selling memberships versus solving problems, you remain a commodity. You are just another product on the market, rather than something that really resonated with someone that's very unique and deeply emotional for that person. And you are able to communicate how you can solve that and how you've solved it for other people and so on. It's going to create a very, very different effect, and it's going to attract people to you that are naturally great fits for you because you are being very clear about what you're doing, right? So we want to make sure we're not copying what everybody else is doing and really finding that unique voice. Another thing about not being clear about who you are, guys, is that you are simply not going to have the same oomph or effort or aggressiveness or follow through in taking action on a daily basis as you would when you are clear and excited about what you are doing. It's plain and simple, guys. There is a radical difference between the gym owner who is just kind of like, I don't know, we just kind of help everyone and we've got these memberships and this is our intro offer and blah, 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 versus someone who is crystal clear on this is who we are, this is who we're not, this is who we're serving, this is who we don't serve, and this is the problem that we solve, and here's how we do it. That person shows up with a completely different level of everything every single day, and is going to simply outpace you, outperform you. They're going to be more eager to get back to people faster. The energy is different in classes. The energy is different on the phone, in those emails, during those intros. You just show up differently. And although that may not seem like the obvious benefit to being clear, in your marketing messaging and content and all that, it is huge, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, there are people out there who you are infinitely better at being a coach than they are. And they are crushing you in business. Not because they're cheating, not because they're doing anything wrong or bad or dishonest, but simply because they know who they are, they know who they're not, they know who they're trying to serve and exactly how they solve that problem, right? And you can have all the certifications or degrees and years of experience and all of that under your belt. But if you're just showing up to the marketplace and you sell fitness, I just sell gym memberships, then you're going to have a really hard time competing against that person, right? Another thing is that it's really difficult to charge what you're worth, right? If you are looking to become a higher ticket gym, right? To where you are able to charge what you're worth from a membership standpoint, from your intro offers. You're not giving all these crazy discounts on the front end. It is imperative that you are able to articulate, what exactly you do and how you're going to do it, and have that confidence in how you solve that problem for people, and being very, very specific. Because again, when you are solving a specific problem for someone, you become priceless. And when you are just selling a gym membership, they're going to compare you to everyone down the street. And this guy's got, 2 bathrooms and you've only got 1 bathroom. So, or what's the difference? He's $10 more or less. Those conversations flat out stop happening when you start having conversations about their real problems and how you solve them. So, if you are looking to increase revenue and profitability, which, by the way, this is a great way to do that, is to not give away everything on the front end and have to make it up over 3 to 6 months just to get your money back, or to finally turn a profit on someone. We want to make sure we're able to charge what's necessary up front. The PT first model, doing whether it's 1 session or 12 sessions, I don't care. What it comes down to is being able to charge what that's worth, so people have the right perceived value about the program right from the start. So here's what I want you to do. If this is a challenge for you, here's where you need to begin. You need to start getting clear around why you do what you do. Why did you get into this business? What is it exactly that gets you excited about running a gym and impacting your members' lives through fitness and nutrition and whatever you do specifically? And really get clear on that. Once you're clear on that, I want you to think about, now, who is it specifically that I actually can and love to serve? They like me, I like them. They can afford my services, and they have that problem that you can solve specifically, right? Again, we don't want to just be general, broad brushstrokes here. We want to try to be as specific as possible. And I'll get into that on another show, on specifically what you can do around creating those client avatars and what kind of information you should be putting together for those. But for now, I want you just to think about, who is it exactly that I can and would love to serve, and values what I do because it's the problem, I solve their problem specifically. And start big. Demographics all the way down to, what they do, how old they are, how many kids they have, what kind of job they've got, what they're afraid of, and so on. Once you've identified who, the next step is to identify, all right, now what is it exactly? What is that problem that I am solving for people? Right? And I guess you could have probably done this ahead of time. This isn't in any particular order, by the way, but what you need to do is clarify the big problem that you solve for people, right? And I know this is really tricky for us in fitness, because we solve a lot of problems with what we do, by someone getting their nutrition and their training under control, and, they get out of pain, they lose weight, their confidence goes up. It affects how they show up at work. It affects their sex life. It affects how they show up as parents and as leaders in their community. And there's a million things. It is crazy impactful, right? But when it comes to our marketing and our messaging, we need to be really, really clear about the problem that we are solving specifically and uniquely for this person, right? So think about that problem. What is it? And try to narrow it down, where you can always add more later. If this is something that once you get your first one down and you nail it and it starts to work and you understand how this all works, then you can start to create multiple avatars and start to build that out. And then you're going to be able to have, be able to increase your growth rate and the different types of people you can attract, with the different versions of that person that you can attract in. And then lastly, you need to articulate, or be able to articulate, exactly how you solve that problem. Now, it's not just, hey, we solve this problem for people. We help people get in the best shape of their life and have a great time doing it. Awesome. Well, how do you do that? This is where we have to be really, really careful not to do what we love to do in the fitness industry, which is just roll up our sleeves and just hit them with all the jargon and all the technical details and, what exactly it's going to take every day, and the programming and the methodology and all this. Don't get into that, guys. When we are in this stage of still courting someone, right? They're not yet a customer. They're maybe still in their buyer's journey, and then maybe they're in an intro, wherever they are pre-sale. It is too early to get into the nuts and bolts of what it is that makes your method so magical and your approach so good. We need to just speak to them in plain English in a matter of just a handful of steps. We're going to start with this, and then we're going to do that, and then it's going to lead us to this, and that's how we solve this problem. And you have to do it in their own language in a way that makes them go, oh, I feel like I can actually do that. It instills confidence. When we use technical jargon, a lot of times what people are actually doing is they're actually compensating for their confidence in their ability to sell or to communicate their value. So instead, what they do is they just say, I'm going to be as technical and as complex as I possibly can. So you go, wow, this guy sure sounds like he knows what he's talking about. That's a bunch of stuff I've never heard about. That might make you feel good, but it does not translate well into sales. And even though maybe that person still says yes that day, if it is an intro that we're talking about, they are not buying in for the right reason. They're associating fear with you right out of the gate, and that is a no-go. You are shooting 3 months down the road or 6 months down the road, you in the foot. So we want to make sure that they have positive associations around you and being able to solve this problem, and that it seems really simple to do. Now, simple does not mean easy. Simple can be, we're going to train, 5 days a week, and we're going to work on your diet to make sure you always have you're recovering well and you've always got good energy. And we're going to teach you about how to, take care of your body via mobility and blah, 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 blah. That way, we can overcome that shoulder thing you've got going on and get you pain-free, right? Really, really simple steps for someone so that they can say, yep, I follow, got it. Don't get into, we're going to, do 100, kettlebell swings, and then it's going to be back squats, and we're going to do these progressions and these tempos, and none of that stuff. Leave the jargon and all the technical details for later on. Several dates down the road, you can start to educate your client around the nuts and bolts of what makes your method and your approach so unique or so magical, if they're interested, right? But we don't want to do that up front. So I'm going to leave you with that today, guys. I hope that was helpful. Being clear on these will make turning your gym into a thriving and profitable business much, much easier. These are some of the key ingredients to a successful sales and marketing engine. So, and it is also one of the very first things that we address with our gym owners in our Gym Breakthrough program. So if you're interested in learning more about how we can help you clarify your message and figure out who you are in your marketplace and help turn your gym into a profitable business that you love to own, visit gymbreakthrough.com/apply to schedule a breakthrough session with me. And we will learn about who you are, where you're at, what you're trying to do, and see if we're a good fit. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, bye-bye.